talk about you.
Hello and welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka the Boogey Man, and on this show I will watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points and some bad points if there are either of any, and give it a rating out of 10 if I remember to do it, and let you know if in my opinion I think the film is worth a watch or not. And I am currently going through all of the Strangers movies because of the new release Strangers Chapter 1. I watched Strangers Original Recipe Strangers last time, and you can watch that here. And today I'm going to be talking about Strangers Pray at Night, Strangers Pray for Mojo, Strangers I don't understand why they made this. Please pray for the writers. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about it. If you haven't watched my Strangers review, there might be spoilers for that film in this review. That is a spoilers review as well. If you want to go and watch that one, like I said, it's linked up there. Go ahead and watch that and then come back and watch this one. And if you haven't seen Strangers Pray at Night, again, spoilers ahead. Spoilers. Going to be some spoilers. If you don't want it spoiled, this is your warning. Before we carry on, guys, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be so awesome, and it would really help the channel out. Appreciate it. So, Strangers Pray at Night is the sequel to The Strangers, which came out in 2008. This sequel came out in 2018, so it took a whole 10 years before they made a sequel to The Strangers. I think they probably wanted to make a sequel for a while because, let's face it, the three villains from the film did become quite iconic. The looks are really good, and you know, horror fandom is consistent. We love a good villain, and we love a good look for a villain. Many modern and classic horror villains that have become icons because of how they look, and that's one of the great things about the Strangers franchise is our villains have a very distinct look. You can see this and immediately go, that's the Strangers. After watching the Strangers Original Recipe Strangers, I wasn't really looking forward to watching this one, in all honesty. I remember watching this when it came out in 2018. I don't think I watched it in 2018. I may have watched it a little bit later, possibly during lockdown when I was watching absolutely anything and everything because, you know, I was locked inside my house. I didn't really enjoy it then, and rewatching it now, I enjoy it even less, and I'm sorry that I don't. I know some people really like this film. I was talking to someone over my Instagram, which is linked down below, about why they like this film. They said that the original Strangers is very 70s in vibe, and this one is more 80s, and they really enjoyed that kind of vibe and aesthetic of these films. And you know what, I can agree with that. They very much try to capture those feelings. You know, the Strangers 1 is very much a 70s slasher home invasion film, and this one is a more 80s slasher chase fest, which is not a bad thing per se. I love 80s slashers. I have many 80s slashers tattoos. Friday the 13th is forever my favorite horror series. I have a Jason mask tattooed on my arm. I'm not going to show you because I'm wearing a long sleeve. Cover them up. Pay all that money for tattoos and you cover them up. There are a lot of things in this film that just don't work for me. We're going to go through those, really point out why I found that I'm not in the minority here. I know a lot of people actually don't enjoy this sequel, which is why it's taken so long for a new one to come out. And I think, yeah, it shows. So let's talk about it. Like I said, spoilers going ahead if you don't want it spoiled. This time we are centered around a family that is traveling across the country because they've got an angry teen who's going to boarding school, and they're going to spend the night at a trailer park, and horror ensues there. The strangers are there waiting for them. We know they're waiting for them because they, at the start of the film, seemingly harass and, as we can imagine, probably kill an elderly couple who live in a trailer. I do have one question, because at the start of the film, when the stranger knocks on this elderly couple's door and the woman goes to answer the door, she realizes the door is unlocked. And this is something that happened in Strangers 1. None of the doors were locked. Do people in America just not lock your doors? Can you comment down below if you lock your doors or not? Because I'm always locking my door. But yeah, so they're traveling there and they go to this trailer park. So as I said, like it's a mother, father, teenage daughter, and slightly older teenage son who's about really in real life he looks about 25. And they're traveling across the country, and they're having to stay the night in this trailer park. They get there late. They did call ahead to say they were coming, and this is obviously how the strangers know that they are coming there, so they can prepare for their arrival. Straight off the bat, there's an issue that I have with this film, and it's the angry teen trope.
We're gonna be late.
I got it.
The family clearly has conflict because of this angry teen. Something's going on where she feels unwanted or undeserved. She can't smoke cigarettes properly to save her life. She just does this. That's not how you smoke. Yeah, it's the stereotype angry teen. But I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I am tired of seeing certain stereotypes in films, and that is one of them. She's angry because she's angry. It doesn't seem like she's angry for any other reason. They even talk about it throughout the film where the family said they're trying everything to make her realise that, you know, her behaviour isn't acceptable. They're trying to be supportive and they just want the best for her. And that's why they're sending her to this boarding school.
You know Mom and Dad are going broke over sending you to boarding school, right?
But she doesn't get it. It's there to cause conflict and cause drama and to split the party. Because this teen is always walking off, angry, storming out, it ends up splitting up the mother, father, and the kids. It splits them up throughout various parts in the film, and then, you know, it happens a lot. There's a lot of things that happen in this film that bother me, but one of the main things, again, is people not acting like people would act. And there's many examples of this in the film, but we'll get to it. We'll get to that. We have the classic bits in this film. They do a lot of throwbacks to the first film. They do the classic, is Tamara home?
Is Tamara home?
They also do a lot of things such as the music. They choose a lot of music in this film. Now, the last video I put up, it got copyright struck for a clip that I used from the film that had a song in the background. So when you actually watch that video, there's like 6 seconds of silence. So this time I won't be using any of the music from the film, unfortunately. But there's lots of bits in this where they've got the music, which is, you know, it's a thing that stood out from the first film. They also have like writing on the windows, like saying hello, doing a drawing of a smiley face, the teasing. And there's a scene where there's a girl sat inside a tube, and you get this.
Leave us alone!
But we've just started.
And which is like, you know, it's a very much a stranger's thing. Like, remember this kind of stuff? You liked this stuff. But one of the biggest problems I have with this film is, like I said, people not acting like people. There's a scene where one of the killers is breaking into a trailer to attack the mother and the daughter. The daughter escapes through the ceiling. There's a skylight when they're locked in the bathroom. And the killer is smashing through the paper-thin door. The mother just stands there, crying, and takes a knife to the gut.
Why? You have to run!
And when this happens, you think, oh, you know, well, she couldn't escape. It's like, she stands there for a long time, lets the killer walk up, wrap her arms around her, and then stab her. That doesn't, no. And you can say fight, flight, freeze response. She's already gone through the freeze and the flight response. She has not been stuck in freeze. It doesn't work like that. And it's really frustrating. There's a kill where a car crashes because a rock was thrown at the windscreen. Instead of hitting the brakes, they just turn and they drive into another trailer. The dad ends up with a plank through his gut. The son is in the car at this point. He runs off to try and go get help with a gun, because he's got a gun now. And the bag boy, gets in the car and stabs him with a knife, and then he instantly dies. But the amount of time he takes, and he sits there, and it's supposed to be creepy, and the dad's pleading for his life and stuff, but his arm still works. You can hear him banging on the goddamn car door. It's just aggravating to watch when I watched this, I thought this film is style and aesthetic over quality. Style over substance. That's what this film is. And that can be shown amazingly from this end scene. We all saw the picture in the trailer, and it's the shot where there's in the pool and there's the killer in the pool. It's shot to look cool and to look good. But the way that they're acting and the way that it plays out is just so alien to how humans act. It was frustrating as hell to sit through. And I wasn't the only person. I didn't watch this alone. I watched this with my friend Helen, and she was saying the exact same things. She was getting really wound up watching this film. And oh, my thumb just popped. It's not like I want this film to fail. I want it to be good. I want it to be entertained. And I'm not being entertained by it. Yeah, people make bad decisions when they're scared. People make mistakes. I understand that. But this, it's all so forced, and everyone just seems so dumb. And you can say, oh, no, Dan, you're being picky. It happens throughout the film, all the way through the film, even right up to the end. There's inconsistencies and things that don't make sense. For example, there's a shot where a police officer shows up, and our main girl is telling the police officer that there's killers loose, and you literally see the killer walk around them in eye shot of these two characters, of the girl and the police officer, and nobody sees him, and nobody stops the killer from slashing the cop's throat.
Hey, calm down. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, I need
Tell me what
you to
happened.
help my brother.
Okay.
I need you to help my brother. He's
Okay.
at the clubhouse. I told him to meet me
All right.
at the clubhouse. That's
The
where
club.
maybe.
I don't know.
And there are these crazy people, and they're trying to kill us.
There's a bit even further along. The girl tries to escape in the police officer's car, and Bagman rams the car over and over. The cop car gets rammed from behind and stops working, but the pickup truck of the killers has the front end smashed in and the engine still works. It doesn't make sense. The cars get set on fire, and the girl is running away from this car that is coming at them on fire. The baghead is inside it, full of blaze, driving at her slowly, following her on the road. And instead of going off the road, left, right, into the woods, she decides to go up and over a bridge that has no escape route. So she corners herself. And even then, Baghead gets out of the car. You're just trying to have these cool visual shots without thinking of the plot line and the story. And it was just irritating. It was like, this is dumb. It wasn't entertaining to me. It was just dumb. I think the problem I really had was, like I said, if it wasn't taking itself seriously, I wouldn't have had issue with it. But because the film takes itself so seriously, to have these things in it that just don't make sense take you out of it. It took me out of it, and it took my friend Helen out of it. It just wanted to look cool, but nobody's actually acting like a human being. So, you know, I really just didn't enjoy it. I got really frustrated watching it. For the visuals and everything, I'll give it a 2 out of 10. It's a 2 out of 10 for me. I don't ever want to watch it again. The first Strangers, at a push, I would watch it again. This, I will never watch it again. It was full of so many mistakes that I've not even talked about. So many inconsistencies, so many strange behaviors that I can't I can't be bothered to talk about them so much. What did you think of Strangers Prey at Night? Let me know down below in the comments. Are you looking forward to chapter 1? Have you seen it? I'll be watching it soon. I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to go in completely fresh after watching the first 2, but that will be a review coming up soon. I've got a bunch of reviews coming up. I'm actually filmed a bunch in the last few days, including some stuff that's going on my Patreon, which is linked down below. There's a bunch of stuff on that Patreon which is free at the minute, just so you can see what kind of content is going up there, and after that it's only going to be $1 a month. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm going to be doing chapter 1 soon. Follow me on social media, The Bearded Horror Review. Everything is linked down below. And until the next one, guys, happy watching.